2019 Ram 1500 Warlock. You would think there would be nothing wrong with it, right? Well, guess what? I put a lift on it. Yeah, as you see. Lift, 6 inches, rough country, super awesome people, super great customer service. Well, let's see here. Here is this box. As you can see, it's for a carrier bearing. Something that the dealership wants to charge me $633 for. Well, let me show you why. So like I said, I have a 6-inch lift on my 2-wheel drive Ram Warlock, which means it has a 2-piece drive shaft. A lot of the trucks nowadays have a 1-piece, which would have been common sense, especially since this isn't a super long base, truck. Well, in my case, the lift kit makes the drive shaft pinion angle. Let me see here. The drive shaft pinion angle, excuse me, a little different. So in turn, makes this carrier bearing here sit a little wonky and everything else. So, my truck right now has 17,000 miles on it. I purchased this truck brand new November 1st of 2019. Well, I've had this lift on the truck for, I don't know, probably 6,500, maybe 7,000 miles. And you're telling me that because of this lift, this drive shaft piece has gone bad in less than 15,000 miles, basically. Because that's when I first started noticing the vibration. Well, today I'm going to show you how screwed up it is. I'm going to show you how to take it out. Then I'm going to tell you what the do's, don'ts, and screwed up situations are with the dealerships, how corrupt and jacked up they are, how to fix this, and what to do, and how the company, Rough Country, the super awesome lift kit company that everybody kind of hates on, how they're gonna fix it. Okay, you have your drive shaft out. Whoopsie-doo, we've gotten there now. Let me show you something. Let's see here. See how much that moves? That is supposed to be solid. See that in there? That's all supposed to be solid and together. All right, so got the old truck working today. Got the drive shaft out. These are for a project coming soon. But for right now, we're gonna head to the machine shop, get this super awesome quality bearing off, and to get that replaced so my vibration will be gone. Gotta love Old Faithful. It's my old girl here, the savior of the day, like as always for some reason. 201,000 miles on one motor and 4 transmissions later, but she still got it here. Let's see here. Gents, we are back. with our fixed drive shaft. So let me get the old carrier bearing out and show you the differences between a good carrier bearing and a bad carrier bearing. New carrier bearing, old carrier bearing. Let's see if you can see here. You see how the rubber is, looks like it's been pulled slash torn. And then you come over here to the new bearing and you see how everything looks nice and neat. Well, return back to the previous clip here. See how this one here, can't shake it? That is a good bearing. That's how it's supposed to be. But what the dealership was trying to tell me is that because I have a 6-inch lift, even though I have that carrier bearing spacer, the lift kit is what made that part go bad. Now my thing is, if everything is at the correct angle, not like this, not like that, at the correct angle like it's supposed to be, why is it, especially even after 5,000 miles, why is it the lift's fault? I don't drive the truck hard. I took it off-roading one time. Why is it that that carrier bearing went bad? Well, let's go back and check, shall we? Looking at the bearing, I'm guessing it's cheap Chinese crap. That's really the only thing I can think of. Not just that, but I noticed that there's a bunch of space in between this one, like up here and on the sides and stuff. And I don't think there's supposed to be as much space because on this one, there isn't as much. But come to find out that there is, so I thought something was wrong. But basically, these little pieces here had stretched so far, so bad, that that's what gives you the vibration. I have a clip that I'll show you here. Going like this in that carrier bearing. So hopefully this fixes everything, fixes the vibration, and we'll go from there. But I will never go back to the dealership until, well, I'm there for the oil changes because I did buy a brand new truck, but I will never go back to the dealership for any kind of work, especially when they said that this drive shaft was bad when all I needed was this piece right here. So $66. And it cost me $100 to get it installed. Now everything's gonna get fixed. Everything's gonna get reimbursed. Here's the cool part. Rough Country says that, all right, look, the dealership's obviously trying to bend you over. So I'm like, all right, cool. Well, at least I'm not the only one who thinks that. So what we'll do is go ahead and get all the receipts for everything, keep all the receipts, and what we'll do is we'll reimburse you, or at least try to take care of what they can to get me back up and going on the road. So they're gonna help me with this and help me with the price of getting it put on. But I still think that the dealership could have at least repaired this. But oh wait, this is a non-serviceable part. The dealership says this is a non-serviceable part. That part right there is non-serviceable, but if you look, right there is a nut. So you take that nut off, this carrier bearing presses off, and you put the new one on. So tell me, how is that not serviceable? Why do I need an entirely new drive shaft? So then I went and I said, you know what? Let me go to another dealership. Let me see if that dealership can maybe help me out at all. So the other dealership said that this is a replaceable part. So what's the deal, Wayne? This should have been under warranty. So without that being said and all that being done and whatever now, I'm going to get this drive shaft installed. We're going to go for the test drive and run down and all that good jazz, and hopefully get everything done right this time. All right, now that everything's fixed, I just want to let y'all know why I made this video. The fact that the dealership told me I needed an entire drive shaft, and that the fact that they wouldn't do it under warranty when all I needed was the carrier bearing. The other thing is, dealerships sell lifted trucks. They literally send trucks off and get trucks lifted. So tell me, what is the difference between my truck and their truck? It's just lifted. It's just like anything they would sell. Whether they put super ugly wheels on there because they don't know what the heck they're doing, Or they, you know, they choose the same lift I put on there. They put a rough country lift on half of their vehicles they sell. So what makes my warranty claim different than somebody who's going to come in for a warranty claim on the lifted truck that they sell? The part went bad, I get that, but how can they prove that that bearing went bad? What can they do to prove that? I don't know. It's beside the point. Basically now the truck's been lifted, part's been replaced, drive shaft's back in there, vibration is completely gone. The carrier bearing drop bracket that I put on there, that fixes the stuttering that happens whenever you have your drive shaft like this and the other part like that. That's what it does. It brings everything down to where it's flat. But that's what I'm saying. Everything is like it's supposed to be. That part is the only thing that was wrong. Not the drive shaft, not any other thing else. But anyways, lift your truck, make sure you pay attention, make sure, you know, you do everything correctly. The dealerships are going to try to scam you however they can, especially when they don't really look at stuff. They didn't even lift my truck, it looked like. They just had it out there, like parked on the lift, looking at stuff. They didn't have it lifted up in there. They weren't checking stuff out. They just basically went off of what they thought. This dude got in my truck, drove it down the road. I don't know what he was doing. So anyways, drive shaft's fixed. Everything is good to go now. The dealership still didn't cover it. But be careful what you do when you lift your truck. Make sure that dealerships aren't going to try to screw you over, and everything will be good to go.